Good morning. So today you'll only need one prop for this practice. We're going to start by sitting in Virasana. So you'll need a blanket, all right? I fold my blanket like this, and then I fold it again like this. Place the blanket on the center of your mat and sit in Virasana. Knees together, flesh of the thighs, pushing toward the knees to drop the knees down into the floor, sitting in between the feet, right? So right in between the heels, toes moving away from the knees so the bottoms of the feet are facing the ceiling. So if you have a little more flexibility in this pose, you can unfold the blanket or you can sit all the way onto the floor. If you have less flexibility in this pose, you can go a little bit higher. So you can sit on a yoga block or even 2 yoga blocks or a bolster, whichever is best for you. Start by closing the eyes, bring the hands onto the tops of the thighs. Again, press the flesh of the thighs towards the knees. Drop the sit bones into the blanket or whatever you're sitting on. Lift the pit of the abdomen and lift the sternum and bring your awareness to your breath. Your natural in and out breath without trying to force the breath at all. Just observe your body drawing in breath. Keep the face soft, keep the eyes soft here. With each breath, you bring a piece of the outside world into your body. With each inhalation and with each exhalation, you give a piece of yourself to the world around you. Realizing this, isn't it possible to imagine that we are connected to everything and everyone? And slowly open the eyes, interlock the hands, turn the palms away from you, and then move the hands up towards the ceiling. Press the hands towards the ceiling, drop the sit bones, and you'll hold this for about 3 breaths, 3 to 6 breaths, and release. Now interlock your hands behind you. All right, so you'll go like this, behind you, and then move the hands away from the head. All right, away from your head. Lift the pit of the abdomen, lift the sternum, keep the spine straight here. And then move the arms up towards the ceiling. And release. Bring your right arm in front of you, right hand moving towards the wall, the left side of the room, palm facing the back of the room. Bring your left arm up and squeeze that arm into the chest. Straighten that right arm. Keep lifting the pit of the abdomen. Keep lifting the sternum. Continue to be aware of the breath. And release. Bring the left arm over, move the left hand towards the left side of the room, bring the right arm up and squeeze that left arm into the body, straightening the left arm. Three breaths here. And release. Shift the weight forward, come up off of your blanket. Bring your feet together, grab the ankles, pull the heels in as far as you can. Catch the feet, straighten the arms, lift the pit of the abdomen, lift the sternum, and drop the knees down towards the floor as much as you can. And release. Now shift your weight over to your right side. Bring your right hand down. Bring the left leg back into Virasana. Pull the heel all the way up to the top of the inner left thigh. Bring your arms onto either side of your bent right leg. Press your hands to the floor, lift the pit of the abdomen, lift the sternum, and press the left knee down into the floor, and then walk yourself around. Walk yourself all the way around. Press that left knee down, lift the pit of the abdomen, and pull the sternum away from that left knee. Lifting and twisting, and then look out over the right shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, walk yourself around a little bit more if you can. Keep the awareness on the breath. Face soft, eyes soft here. And release. Bring the feet together. Shift the weight over to the left side. Now right leg in Virasana. Pull the heel all the way up to the top of the inner right thigh. Knee pointing forward here. Bring your hands onto either side of the bent left leg. Fingertips on the floor. Press the hands into the floor to lift the pit of the abdomen and lift the sternum. Inhale. Exhale, walk yourself around. Press the right knee down. Pull the sternum away from the right knee as you lift and twist. And walk yourself around a little bit more on an exhalation. And then look out over the left shoulder as much as you can, turning the head. And release. And now straighten the legs out in front of you. Pull the toes back towards your head. Reach behind you and pull the flesh of the buttocks towards the wall behind you. Notice how that changes the posture a little bit. You'll feel the sit bones firmly pressing into the floor. All right, now pull the toes back. Press the thighs down into the floor. Bring your hands beside you, fingers pointing forward, and press the hands into the floor like you're lifting yourself up off of the floor. You're trying to lift yourself off of the floor. Lift the pit of the abdomen and the sternum. Keep the face soft. Strong, powerful thighs here, pressing down into the floor. And release. Now let's come onto our mat. Come to the back of your mat here, toes pretty close to the back of your mat. Widen the knees. Sit back on the heels, drop the belly in between the thighs, forehead on the floor. Move the hands away from the knees. So use the fingertips or the fingers to move the hands away from the knees, creating length through the body, lengthening the spine. And then press the hands down into the floor like you're pushing the floor away from you. Good. Now, shift your weight forward. Lift yourself off the floor. Shift your weight forward. Curl the toes under. Press your hands into the floor. And come into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Stay on the tips of the toes here. Fingers spread wide here. Press the hands down into the floor, straightening the arms, dropping the chest. Let the head drop here. Keep the legs bent. Inhale. Exhale, now drop the heels down into the floor, lengthening the back of the legs. Let the head drop. Widen the shoulders, so move the shoulder blades away from each other. Good, now bend your knees. Look towards your hands. Inhale. Exhale. Walk your feet towards your hands. Keep your hands where they are. Bring your feet all the way up close to the hands here. Keep the legs bent. Let the head hang. Now inhale. Straighten the legs as much as you can. And then exhale, release. Inhale. Straighten the legs as much as you can. And then exhale, release. Inhale, straighten the legs, And then catch the elbows here, right? Legs straight, thighs pressing away from the torso. Let the arms hang, let the head hang here. Eyes open, looking through the legs towards the wall behind you. In Uttanasana. And now bend your knees, bring your hands beside your feet, and step back with your right leg. Drop the right knee into the floor, uncurl the toes here. All right, ankle below the knee, bring your hands to your side, press your hands into the floor, lift the pit of the abdomen and lift the sternum, and drop the pelvis down into the floor and move the sacrum, the very bottom of your spine, towards the front heel. Inhale, lift the pit of the abdomen, lift the sternum. Exhale, drop the pelvis and move the sacrum into the body towards that front heel. Feel that stretch in the psoas muscle of the right leg. And now, shift the weight backwards a little bit, curl the toes under, and step the feet together. Coming back into Uttanasana here, catch the elbows, let the elbows drop, let the head hang, thighs pressing towards the wall behind you. And now bend your knees, bring your hands beside your feet again, and step back with the left leg all the way back. Drop the knee, uncurl the toes. All right, again, ankle and knee stacked here, right? You don't want to extend the knee beyond the ankle. Fingertips on the floor to give you a little bit more height, straightening the arms. Lift the pit of the abdomen and lift the sternum, inhale, and then exhale, drop the pelvis down into the floor and move the sacrum towards the front heel. Major stretch right here. Keep the face soft. This may be uncomfortable if you've never done this before, but just stay with the breath. See if you can settle into the breathing. Good, now shift the weight back, uncurl the toes, or curl the toes under, I should say. Inhale, exhale, step the feet together, and then straighten the legs. Catch the elbows, let the arms hang, let the head hang, press the thighs towards the wall behind you. Eyes open, looking through the legs. Good, now bend the knees, bring your hands to the front of your mat, and step back to the back of your mat, coming into Palakasana or plank pose. Feet together here, toe mounds touching. Press the hands down into the floor and lift the navel. So press the navel towards the spine, towards the ceiling, straightening the back. Thighs pressing up towards the ceiling, heels moving away from the head slightly. Inhale, exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Press the hands into the floor, drop the chest, let the head hang, press the heels down into the floor. Move the top of the thighs away from the hands. Inhale, exhale, drop the knees, keep the toes curled under, and then sit back on the heels. If you have any tension in your feet, this may be a little bit uncomfortable. Again, stay as long as you can. I would try to stay at least 3 breaths in this pose. But try to really relax into the pose. So as you inhale, bring awareness into the body. As you exhale, drop deeper into the pose. Hands on the thighs here, face soft. 3 breaths. Good, now shift the weight forward, uncurl the toes, and sit back. Good, now grab your blanket. We're going to use it for your head in Shavasana. I'm not going to hold Shavasana as long. This is a quick morning routine that you can do. So on these quicker practices, I tend to hold my breath in Shavasana for about 12 breaths. Not hold my breath, but I count 12 breaths while in the pose. And as I'm in the pose, I try to drop deeper and deeper into Shavasana, dropping into the floor. So you'll hold this for about 12 breaths. Count your own breath here. Roll the shoulders under. Bring the arms out to the side. Soften the face, soften the eyes, and allow yourself to drop into the floor. Each inhalation, bring awareness to the body, how it feels right now in this moment. As you exhale, allow yourself to surrender completely to the weight of your own body resting on the floor. And just notice how the body feels different than it did before we started today. And again, as you draw the breath in, recognize that you are bringing a piece of the outside world into yourself. And as you exhale, you give a piece of yourself to the outside world. To the natural environment. And spend a few breaths here, appreciating the connection that you have with the world around you. And now bring your knees into your chest very slowly. Move slowly here. Grab the knees and roll over onto your right side. Continue to drop into the floor. And place your left hand on the floor in front of your chest. Press the hand into the floor and come up. We started in Virasana. We will end in Virasana. Fold your blanket. Knees together. Hands on the thighs. 3 breaths here. Bring your hands together, thumbs at the heart center. Slowly open the eyes. Namaste. I hope you have an amazing day.